Chapter 4 of the Discovery textbook was the 34 themes of StrengthsFinder. Throughout the chapter, it broke down every 34 of the themes, which is what I'm going to do today. So the first theme was Achiever. Achiever kind of helps explain your drive. It describes your constant need for an achievement. Next was the Activator. The Activator is one who's constantly asking the question, when can we start? It's also one of those deals where you have some traits that you're impatient for action. The next one is adaptability. So that one you kind of live in the moment. You don't see the future as a fixed destination, but instead of a place where you can create out of the choices that you make right now. And you discover your future one choice at a time. Next one is analytical. Analytical, you find yourself challenging people. If someone gives you an example of something, you would have to say, prove it. Show me why you are claiming that. Everything has to be pretty straightforward. The next is the arranger. This is where you're a conductor. When faced with a complex situation, you enjoy managing all of it. It's something that you believe that you can take on everything at once. Next is belief. If you possess this theme, you have certain core values that are enduring. These values vary from one person to another, but ordinarily your belief that theme causes you to be family-oriented, altruistic, even spiritual, and to value responsibility and high ethics, both in yourself and to others. Next is command. Command leads you to take charge. Unlike some people, you feel no discomfort imposing your views on others, but then when someone disagrees with you, you feel the need to share your opinion with it. Next is communication. This one is pretty self-explanatory. You like to explain, to describe, to host, and to speak in public, but then also to write. The next one is competition. Competition is rooted in comparison. When you look at the world, you're instinctively aware of other people's performance. The next one was connectedness. You believe that things happen for a reason, and you're not just questioning that, you're sure of it. But you're sure of it because in your soul you know that eventually we're all connected. So the next one is context. Context, you find yourself looking back. You look back because that is where the answers lie. You look back to understand the present. Now we go on to deliberative. This is where you're careful. You look back because deliberative, you're careful, you're vigilant, but when it comes down to it, you're a private person. You know that the world is an unpredictable place. Next, we have developer. You see the potential in others, but very often, in fact, that is all you see. And view no individual as fully formed, but on the other hand, each individual is a work in project, alive with possibilities. The 14th trait was discipline. Discipline is your world needs to be predictable. It means that to be fully functional, everything has to be ordered and planned. So you instinctively impose that structure to others. You set up your routines and you focus on times and deadlines. It's not necessarily a stickler, but you want to make sure everything is done on time. Next, we have empathy. Empathy, you can sense the emotions of those around you. You kind of feel what they're feeling, and you're able to see the world through their eyes and their perspective. 16 coming in, we have fairness. This is where balance is kind of important to you. You're aware that you need to treat people the same. This was one where I kind of hit home just because, growing up, we always were told, treat others the way you wanted to be treated. They really preached fairness growing up at the elementary school that I went to. Next, we have focus. That was one where it kind of asked the question to yourself, where are you heading? You ask this question every day, but you guide your life based off of that. You're pretty driven and really have your eye on the prize. Next, we have futuristic. This is the one where you kind of like to look ahead of things and you peer over the horizon. The future seems to really interest you. Next, we have harmony. Harmony is where you kind of look for areas of agreement. In your view, there's little to have conflict and friction. You want to make sure that everyone's kind of getting along, kind of on the same page. Even when there is conflicting views going on, you really try to strive to find common ground. Next, we have ideation, which is you're fascinated by the concept of ideas. You ask yourself, what is an idea? And an idea is a concept and the basic explanation of most events. Next on, we have inclusiveness at 21, which is it gives the term in the text, stretch your circle wider. This is the philosophy around your orient in life. You want to include people and make them feel part of the group. Next, we have individualization, which that theme leads you to be intrigued by the unique qualities of each person. You're impatient with generalization or types just because you don't want to obscure, special, and distinct about each person. Next on, we have input. This is one where you kind of collect things. You collect information, whether it be words, facts, books, quotes, or tangible objects such as baseball cards, all that good stuff. Whatever you collect it just because it interests you. Next, we have intellection, and that one's pretty self-explanatory too. It's you kind of like to think. You like mental activity. Um, you don't just work out your muscles, but you work out your brain a bunch, and that what is really gets you going is to constantly be thinking about something and thinking about how something is done or trying to get yourself smarter. Next, we have learner, and learner similar to that is you're driven by the fact that you love to learn. The subject matter interests you is what interests you the most, but whatever the subject is, you'll be drawn to the process of learning. Next, at 26, we have maximizer. Maximizer is excellence, not average, as your measure. Taking something from below average to slightly above average takes a great deal of effort, in your opinion. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a reason why you do it, and that's because you like to maximize every situation. Next, we have positivity. Positivity is you're generous with praise, you're always quick to smile, and always on the outlook for positive in the situation. Some might call you lighthearted with this, but others just wish their glass was as full as yours seems to be. Always the guy smiling. Next, we have realtor. Realtor describes your attitude towards your relationships. In simple terms, the realtor theme pulls you toward people that you already know, but you're not really necessarily shy when it comes to meeting new people. But in fact, you enjoy the thrill of turning strangers into friends. Next, we have responsibility. The responsibility theme focuses your psychological ownership for anything you commit to. Whether large or small, you feel emotionally bound to follow it through to completion. Next, at 30, we got restorative. This is where you love to solve problems, kind of known as a problem solver. You enjoy the challenge of analyzing symptoms, identifying what is wrong, and then eventually finding the solution. Next, we have self-assurance. Similar to self-confidence, but you have faith in your strengths. You'll have something that you not necessarily think that you might not be able to, but you know that you're able to do. You're able to take your risk. You're able to meet new challenges, stake your claims, and most important, be able to deliver. Next, we have significance. Significance is that you want to be significant in the eyes of other people. You really care about what people think about you. You want to stand out and you want to be known. And then next, we have strategic. And strategic kind of enables you to sort through the clutter and find the best route. It's not necessarily a skill that can be taught. It's a distinct way of thinking and a special perspective on the world. And then finally, to wrap things up, number 34, we've got woo. Woo stands for winning others over. You enjoy the challenge of meeting new people and getting them to like you. Strangers are rarely intimidating to you, but also strangers can be energizing to you as well. You're drawn to them. Other than that, that pretty much wraps up chapter 4.